Remember that time you tried to explain something complicated with only emojis? Yeah, our ancestors were doing that thousands of years ago, except they used cave walls instead of smartphones. Those ancient cave paintings, they weren't just pretty pictures, they were early attempts at communication using symbols everyone understood. Fast forward a few millennia and we're still using symbols to communicate. Think about it, alphabets are just stylized pictures and emojis are their digital descendants. We're hardwired to understand visual patterns, and that's why a smiley face means the same thing in Tokyo, Paris and Timbuktu. It's basic human connection, distilled into a single image, but even with pictures, things can get lost in translation. What looks like a friendly wave in one culture might be a rude gesture in another. And let's not forget the time your grandma misinterpreted your eggplant emoji. Oops, visual communication might be universal, but it's not always crystal clear. So we figured out the whole visual communication thing. But at some point, grunting wasn't enough. We wanted to gossip, debate, and complain about the weather. Enter spoken language. Those early sounds, clicks, pops, and guttural yells eventually morphed into the complex systems of words, grammar, and syntax we know and love and sometimes struggle with today. Imagine the first time someone strung together a few sounds to express a complex thought. Revolutionary, right? But with language came the potential for misunderstanding. Suddenly, a misplaced inflection or a misinterpreted tone could turn a friendly chat into a shouting match. Sound familiar? And let's not forget the joy of regional dialects. That thing you call a sub might be a hoagie or a grinder somewhere else. Language is constantly evolving, and those regional variations add flavor and occasional confusion to our communication soup. Ever tried to learn a new language? It's like trying to solve a puzzle while riding a unicycle. Each culture has its own unique way of seeing the world, and their language reflects that. Take the Japanese concept of ma, for example. It's this intangible space between things, a pause that gives meaning to what comes before and after. Good luck finding a direct English translation for that. And then there are those untranslatable words that perfectly capture a feeling or experience. The German word Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune. We've all been there, but only the Germans have a word for it. These linguistic differences can lead to hilarious misunderstandings, but they also remind us that there are countless ways to experience the world. Embracing these differences rather than trying to erase them is what makes communication so fascinating and occasionally frustrating. So where do we go from here? Will we ever achieve perfect communication, or are we doomed to forever misunderstand each other? The answer, like most things in life, is complicated. Artificial intelligence is already changing the way we communicate, translating languages in real time and even generating text that's eerily human-like. But can AI ever truly understand the nuances of human language with all its sarcasm, irony, and double meanings? And what about the emotional weight we attach to words? A heart emoji is nice, but it can't replace a genuine hug. Maybe the future of communication isn't about finding a single universal language. Maybe it's about embracing the messy, imperfect beauty of our differences and finding new, creative ways to bridge the gaps between us. After all, isn't that what communication's all about?